Have you ever felt like, despite all of your hard work toward your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, your passions, that even though you were putting in all of this work, like you were still getting nowhere? You know, you're working your hardest, you're focused, you're pushing through the pain, you're fighting, you're being persistent, but it still feels like it's not enough. Like you're running on a treadmill and you can see your dreams in the distance. You're booking it, you know, the speed is on 10, but you're running in the same spot. I know I have. And recently I have been in this really awkward space of following my dreams and going my hardest, but still feeling like it's not enough. And I have been dedicated over the last few months to getting out of this rut, to getting out of this feeling of uncertainty. And I figured it out. I got out of it, and I want to share with you what helped me, what worked for me. I believe that after watching this video, you will feel re-energized, refocused, and a lot better about continuing the pursuit towards your passions and your dreams. Let's get into the video. But before we get into today's video, I want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, and that is Ana Luisa. Ana Luisa crafts high quality jewelry pieces at very affordable prices. Mother's Day can be a very difficult time for me because I lost my mom, but it gets easier when you have other women in your life who are just as loving and just as nurturing and caring as your mom was. So here in LA, I have my second mom, and a few times a month I go over to her house and we have tea. A few days ago, I decided to go over for tea, but to surprise her with Mother's Day gifts from Ana Luisa. She absolutely loved these pieces. I got her a set called Mish, and it's green, adventurine, and the first thing that she said was, "How did you know that this was exactly something that I would have wanted?" It reminded her of a gift that her grandmother, her late grandmother, got her when she was around 16 years old. I believe she said she ended up losing the pieces, and this was the perfect set for her because it just reminded her of her grandmother, and she was so ecstatic. And here you see her, she is serving us tea and having a good time, and she's modeling her pieces, and it was beautiful. She really loved them. She told me that she's been wearing it every day, and she has been getting lots of compliments. So I want you guys to get something nice for your moms. So head on over to Ana Luisa. The link is in the description box. Right now they are having a buy one, get one 40% off sale. You can't be 40%, and you want your mom to get lots of compliments like my second mom did. She absolutely loved it. And the great thing about Ana Luisa is they are carbon neutral from their packaging to their products. They care about the impact on the planet. Their designs will make you feel empowered, elegant, and at your finest. My second mom, again, absolutely loved these pieces. So check out the link in the description box. And the great thing is I am wearing a really nice piece from Ana Luisa today. I think it matches my green shirt. Thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video, and most importantly, thank you to all of you who are watching, because you make it possible for me to receive opportunities like this. So head on over to Ana Luisa and get you some really nice pieces. When I was turning 30 last year, I was freaking out. I was freaking out because I knew that I wasn't happy in my career and I was going to be transitioning out. I was unhappy with all of the time that I had spent working in a career that I loathed and that had come with so many negative experiences. I had dedicated my entire 20s to working in a career that I wasn't passionate about. 8 years in school, 3 degrees, tons of years working in the profession, tons of sacrifices, and I was miserable. I felt like life had just passed me by, like I had spent so much time doing nothing. I was so accomplished and things on paper seemed to be going very well, but on the inside, I was unfulfilled and miserable and just felt paralyzed by life. And I realized that I wasn't alone. Gallup's 2020 State of the American Workplace report showed that almost 70% of American workers are disengaged at their jobs. And I was having this conversation with so many other people, and they were telling me they felt the same way. So with all of this in mind, I decided that I was going to do something about my depression and put myself first. I quit my full-time job and started working in another field that I enjoyed more and that gave me just as much money, if not more, and started working on my acting career. And sure, putting yourself first, quitting your job to focus on the things that you really want to do and enjoy sounds beautiful, and it is. But the downside, welcome to the realm of uncertainty and the fears of I am starting over too late. Why did I make these decisions as I'm turning 30 years old? So the fear of the unknown was just rushing in like crazy. You know, everyone knows about acting, how it's just not a guaranteed field. I was auditioning like crazy, marketing, promoting, taking classes, but I had barely been booking. I had an agent. Things seemed to be going well, but I wasn't booking enough. And I started to feel like, why am I doing this? Am I wasting my time? Is this really my purpose? Why am I doing this so late in the game? I even auditioned for drama school. Yes, a fourth degree, because I was like, I am determined to figure out the best path for my life. I don't want to miss anything. And it wasn't the path for me because I didn't get in. And it's okay. I'm still a little salty. I pray, I have faith, I repeat affirmations, I journal, I vent, but I was still feeling depressed. I felt like nothing is working. I am working so hard with no immediate rewards or even a guarantee that anything will come from this. And I had booked a few gigs, but I wanted more consistently. I wanted to be a full-time working successful actor. And despite all the work I was putting in, it just wasn't happening yet. And that's when I found a book that has changed my life. It is called The Quarter Life Breakthrough by Adam Smiley Poswolsky. I hope I'm saying that right. And he is a millennial workplace expert. I had never heard of this term before. He is an expert in helping millennials find their career paths, their passions, and deal with things like burnout. Sounds like a great job. In the book, Adam talks about the quarter life crisis. I had never heard of this term before, but it involves anxiety over the direction and quality of one's life, which is most commonly experienced in a period ranging from a person's early 20s up to their mid 30s, but it can also begin as early as 18. It is defined by clinical psychologist Alex Falk as a period of insecurity, doubt, and disappointment surrounding your career, relationships, and financial situations. That's me. You know, this book is filled with so many golden nuggets, personal stories from the author, and real life examples of people who had changed their careers or something within it because they were unhappy, had found new meaning in their work and their life, and it also includes actual exercises that you can do to help you through yours. I took like 20 pages of notes on this amazing book, but today I will give you my takeaways to help you through your quarter life crisis or midlife crisis, wherever you are in your life, whatever period of uncertainty you're in. I want to help you through it because it certainly has helped me. But please still read the book because it is amazing and life-changing. So the author of the book mentioned how he also felt paralyzed by life and knew he needed to make a change. On paper, he looked great. He was working in the Peace Corps. He was making $70,000 a year at 20 years old. He was living in an amazing city, but he still felt miserable and unhappy in life. And he talked about our society's current state of mind towards work and careers, how we believe as a society that we are supposed to work in one field, one career at the same job until you retire. And he talks about the issue with this retirement career mindset. He says that it doesn't lead to fulfillment. He says that part of our lack of fulfillment stems from our failure as a society to encourage people to ask specific questions like, who am I? What do I want? What are my unique gifts? What types of people do I want to surround myself with? What is my purpose? Why am I here? How do I find work that makes my heart sing? He talks about how our society is so stuck on this career ladder mindset, the traditional way of going through life in your career, that you have to climb your way up to the top and eventually get to retirement. The higher the ladder you climb, the more successful you are. The issue with the career ladder mindset is it limits us. It limits new opportunities, risk-taking, and experimentation. That's a pretty boring life. Ladders encourage people to avoid new challenges in exchange for safety and Moving up. The author tells us to stop climbing ladders and start jumping lily pads. He tells us to adopt what's called a lily pad career mindset. The lily pad career mindset argues that motivated people who want to align their work with their purpose should consider frequent small career jumps based on their changing purpose and interests. It doesn't mean you're going backward, because there is no backward if you're learning. Leaping lily pads helps us to get closer to aligning our work with our purpose for a long time. Leaping lily pads means you're getting closer to wherever your roots, your interests, and your learning desires are pulling you. The journey is the journey. There is no finish line. There is no top of the ladder. Your career is simply a series of small journeys. I like that. Each lily pad is a job opportunity available for you, and you can jump in any direction available that makes sense to you given your purpose. And your purpose is pretty much your passion and how you want to give back to the world. I love this Venn diagram. He tells you that purpose should allow 4 things. It should allow you to share your gifts, make a positive impact, surround yourself with believers, the community that you want to surround yourself with, and it should allow you to also live your desired quality of life. And he also gives a little example of what his looked like when he did it. This lily pad career mindset really resonated with me because it spoke to exactly how I felt about my career. I was in this job, things were great, I was making great money, but I wasn't happy. And I wanted to focus on something that I was passionate about that matched my quality of life. And I couldn't see myself doing that in my current career. So hopefully now you feel validated that it's okay that you didn't follow this traditional path, or you want to get out of your career because you just don't feel fulfilled. So what's going to keep us going? So the first thing that you have to do is ask yourself, is my current job in alignment with my gifts, the impact I want to make, the communities I want to surround myself with, and my desired quality of life? It is absolutely okay to want to do something new. As we grow and as we age in life, so should the things that we do. People change. So should what they do for a living. When a light goes on that tells you that you are not fulfilled, listen to that. Pay very close attention to it, even if you aren't sure what's next. The author says that you should write down your goals and the action items that you can take towards meeting those goals. You should make a list of all of the items you can do in the next 30 days to help you get closer to your purpose. And the tasks should be completed in at least 10 minutes or less, and you need at least 10 items on the list. He tells you that you should work on your goals every day, no days off. And this was my favorite on his list: build a support system. We should be surrounding ourselves around people who are taking creative risk and are stepping outside of their comfort zones. Why? Because they get it. When you find believers, you find accountability. And when you have accountability, you have success. Your dreams come true. The author notes that the best accountability buddies are not your friends, your partner, your parents, because they are going to let you off the hook a lot easier than someone who you really don't know will. So he suggests literally talking to a stranger or someone that you barely know or aren't really familiar with. And I find this to be so beneficial because twice a week I take acting classes, and I cannot begin to tell you how many times I've gone into those classes just feeling hopeless, feeling like giving up, like, why am I doing this? What am I here for? And like clockwork, every time I lean on my peers in those classes, they uplift me like crazy. My acting coach, she uplifts me. I can have conversations with them. They understand, they get it, but they don't just sit back and listen and say, yeah, we get it. Poor you. No, they give me actionable items. They keep me accountable. They check back in with me. Did you do this? Did you try that? And it works. It really does. And to the next point, the author tells you to ignore people who tell you not to pursue your dreams. There is nothing new under the sun. Everything has been done before, but the great thing is it has not been done by you. It has not come with your unique tastes and talent. And that's all that matters. He says that you should hustle harder when people don't believe in you. To the next takeaway, if you want to have a meaningful career, you have to keep hustling for it and you have to be persistent. There will be days like I experienced where you will feel overwhelmed, overworked, and just spent. But you have to remember that successful careers take time, and we can't just give up when it gets too hard. Even the author of the book talked about how it took him 3 years to get a publisher for the book, and this book eventually became a bestseller. Career fulfillment is not online dating. You cannot swipe right. Some things take time and effort. It is not microwave success. It is delayed gratification. And millennials, we hate delayed gratification. I think everybody does. He says that overnight success is rare, and expecting it to happen can lead to disappointment. You should expect to work at least 3 to 4 years in your career before you start to really see growth and success. And that really put things in perspective for me. It's only been a year since I've been pursuing my acting career, like really going for it and having an agent. So I should be more patient and give it more time. And like we all know in the acting career, there's a lot of rejection. He spoke on this too. Rejection is simply a part of the journey. You will be rejected. You will be told that you're not ready. This doesn't mean that you should quit. It just means that you should dig in and start practicing more and hustle harder for it. And let's talk about fear. The fear of the unknown, the fear of everyone else telling you that you can't do it. He says that the antidote to fear is just to simply take more action towards your goals. One of the exercises that I loved was the fear exercise. He reminds you that you should listen to your voice, not the voice of others. The voices of your loved ones is powerful, and they can stifle a breakthrough. It can instill fear in you, and you will begin hearing the voices of others and confusing it for your own. He says that you should write down your hesitations and identify whether or not they are fact or fear. Answer the question, and I love that he tells us when you're feeling hopeless, you should express gratitude. When you have the fear of missing out, you should stop comparing yourself to others, take a social media break. And when you feel stuck, you should listen to your voice. I cannot tell you how many times I have followed my intuition and it has led me on a path to success. Your inner voice always knows what's best for you. And always remember, age does not define you. We have so many examples in history of people who have started over in their careers later in their lives. They did not find success until later in their lives. And we have so many examples of this to go by to help motivate us. People like J.K. Rowling and Julia Child, who didn't publish her first cookbook until she was 50 years old. Stan Lee, the creator of the Marvel Comics, did not get his break until he was nearly 40 years old. Toni Morrison was the first African-American woman to win the Nobel Peace Prize at 62. Christopher Waltz, an actor, he didn't get his big break until he was 51 years old. So keep going, guys. We're almost there. I love this illustration of these two miners. There's one at the top, there's one at the bottom. And they're both digging, they're both going. And one guy is just so close. He is so close, but he doesn't realize it because he can't see it. And he ends up turning around. But the other guy at the top, he just kept going. And eventually he's going to get those diamonds. And that's how we have to be about life. That's how we have to be about our goals. We cannot expect to just have instant success. It doesn't work that way for everyone. And always remember, guys, practice self-love. Create weekly self-care rituals. Take care of yourself, because if you don't take care of yourself, it is impossible to reach your goals. You're just not going to feel like it. So take yourself out on a date. Every Thursday I go to the movies like clockwork. My friends laugh at me, but that is the moment I get to spend somewhere else in a different world, immersed in a different experience outside of my own. And it resets me every single week. So if anything, this book reminded me that I am on the right track, that I am aligned with my purpose, that even though I'm not this big successful actor yet, I have to continue to take the right steps to get there. And it's not just about being this big successful actor. At the end of the day, I just want to wake up and enjoy what I do. And that's what I get to do right now. Because I quit my job, I'm able to work in a meaningful field that I love while I continue my pursuit towards my passion of acting. And I want everyone else to be in the same position. I want people to understand that If you aren't happy where you are, do something about it. That's my favorite quote. You know it. If you don't like where you are, move, because you are not a tree. The author tells us that we can continue to work. You don't necessarily have to quit your job, but you should be doing what you love and working towards getting to that place where you're doing what you love consistently. And remember, you don't have to quit your job tomorrow to pursue something you love. As long as you figure out a way to make time for what you care about, there is no right or wrong way to pursue your art, your passions, your desires, your purpose. There is no perfect job. My job right now gives me my desired quality of life and allows me to pursue my dreams of acting because I don't want to be a struggling artist. Who does? And aside from this book, I pray. I still pray all the time. I remember I was just in a really low place and I was depressed. I wanted to give up and I was just like, God, why? Why is this happening to me? Why aren't you allowing more success to come into my life? And I was just down and out and was really ready to just give up. And the next day, I got a call from someone that I barely know, a friend of my brother, and he just poured into me and gave me so much support and love and reassurance. And it was right on time. It was God answering my prayer and giving me what I needed to keep going. So I hope that you guys continue on your journeys and that you find success in whatever route you are trying to go on, and stay blessed. Bye.